Reactions pour in following the Supreme Court's decision to overturn Roe v. Wade. I'm Skyler Henry in Washington with more on the seismic change to federal abortion rights.
Plus, reactions from 4 state elected leaders on the decision, and
the Supreme Court makes the monumental decision to overturn Roe v. Wade. I'm Bronte Sorotsky with local reactions.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
The Supreme Court today overturned Roe v. Wade, its 1973 decision guaranteeing abortion rights for women. This is KOAM News at 10. We're going to hear from some 4-staters and regional elected officials in a moment. But first, reporter Skyler Henry is in Washington with more on the decision and the reaction there.
Abortion right advocates and opponents gathered outside the Supreme Court after today's decision to overturn the landmark case that guaranteed a woman's right to an abortion, a right that had existed for nearly half a century.
All they really care about is controlling and suppressing women.
For the older generation of pro-lifers to see this today, I'm so grateful for them and their perseverance.
The justices upheld a Mississippi law banning the procedure after 15 weeks of pregnancy. The court's conservatives went further, voting 5-4 to strike the precedent set by Roe v. Wade in 1973.
It's a slap in the face to women about using their own judgment to make their own decisions about their reproductive freedom.
Associate Justice Samuel Alito authored the opinion, writing Roe was egregiously wrong from the start. Its reasoning was exceptionally weak, and the decision has had damaging consequences. The ruling means abortion laws will now be decided by the states. More than half are expected to enact bans or significant restrictions. Congressional Republicans hailed the decision.
The court affirmed that the power to protect unborn life is returned to the people and their elected representatives.
The ruling wasn't unexpected. A draft version of it had been leaked to the media earlier this year.
It's a sad day for the court and for the country.
President Biden was among those voicing dismay at the decision.
Today, the Supreme Court of the United States expressly took away a constitutional right from the American people.
The president said only Congress can restore that right, adding, quote, "This fall, Roe is on the ballot." Skyler Henry, CBS News, the White House.
Some people in Joplin protested the Supreme Court decision because of the ruling. A Missouri trigger law effectively ends access to legal abortion in the state. KOAM's Bronte Sorotsky attended that rally and got local reaction.
We all knew it was coming. You know, they had with the leak that came out a few months ago, like they had told us that this is essentially what it was going to be. So we all knew it was going to happen any day.
After the Supreme Court ruled to overturn Roe v. Wade, Missouri's trigger law went into place, essentially banning most abortions in the state.
As a young woman, I think it's a really scary day in America and in Missouri.
In reaction, Julie Joplin Media held a rally Friday evening in opposition of the decision.
And it is not the government's position, place, to get involved in medical decisions about a person's body. And that is, I think we could all agree. I can't think of one law that regulates a man's body. And so this is just a matter of healthcare privacy.
Missouri's trigger law bans all abortions in the state except in cases of medical emergency, with no exceptions for rape or incest.
I was really scared, especially with there being no exceptions for rape or incest. My biggest fear is that people are gonna die. I think whenever you ban abortion, you don't ban abortion, you ban safe, legal abortion. Women are gonna die trying to give themselves at-home abortions.
Not only was the rally a way for people to voice their opinions following the ruling, it was also a space for women to support one another.
I really wanted to make sure that we had networks around the area, people that we can just turn to and go to whenever we need help or support, questions.
We want people out there who maybe are afraid, like we are, to know they're not alone. There's a support system here. But second, when we're done making our voices heard here on the street, we're going to go have a planning session and we're going to figure out what we can do today, this week.
In Joplin, Bronte Sorotsky, KOAM News.
Missouri has become the first state in the country to effectively end abortion following the Supreme Court decision. Again, the trigger laws banning abortions take effect immediately in Missouri, and they're already pending a signature in both Arkansas and in Oklahoma. In Kansas, Voters will decide on August 2nd whether the state constitution protects the right to abortion. U.S. Senator Josh Hawley of Missouri praises the ruling. He says he's glad to see states determine access to abortion.
In my lifetime, nothing that any voter in my state has ever voted on has mattered with regard to abortion because we've never had any say. And, you know, the voters of Missouri and every other state, now what they decide on this is going to be law. And that's a big change.
Our very own Josh Hawley said that he would only support nominees to the Supreme Court that would overturn Roe v. Wade. And here we are today. The stripping away of fundamental rights of millions of Americans.
Arkansas Republican Governor Asa Hutchinson today voiced his support for the ruling.
Personally, I'm grateful for the court's ruling today because I have fought for a number of decades for greater protections for the unborn throughout my political life. And as governor, I'm gratified by the court's decision because the people of Arkansas have declared the public policy of this state is to protect the life of the unborn.
Missouri Governor Parson, a Republican, says in part, quote, "Today our efforts have produced what generations of Missourians have worked and prayed for. Today we have won our fight to protect innocent life." Oklahoma's Republican Governor Kevin Stitt released a statement saying in part, quote, "I'm very excited that the Supreme Court made this courageous decision. I'm proud to be called America's most pro-life governor, and I'm looking forward to the rest of the country following Oklahoma's lead to protect life." Kansas Governor Laura Kelly, the only Democrat among the four governors, says on Twitter, quote, "A woman's reproductive health care decision should be between her and her physician. I'll continue to oppose all regressive legislation that interferes with individual freedoms or threatens the strides we've made in recent years making Kansas a constructive place to do business." To see more local and regional reaction to the Supreme Court decision, go online to KOAMnewsnow.com or download the KOAM News app. It's available free of charge. Just search for the KOAM News app. Let's check in with Doug Heddy for our first look at the weather.
Well, it turned out to be a smoking hot day for us today, of course, all the way up near 100 degrees. In fact, our hottest day that we have seen so far in 2022. Official high, 99. Look at the record, 100, set back, way back in 1954. And I think we'll hit 100 as we go into the daytime hours tomorrow. Nothing going on outside for us the rest of the evening into the overnight hours. We look fine. We are tracking our next storm system. You can see thunderstorms up to our north and to our west. They're not going to make it here tonight or really tomorrow. Look at our temps. We're still sitting mid-80s. We still have a heat index outside. Still feels like 93 or 94 degrees, so a very muggy night. We'll drop back to about 78, 87 by 10. Look at this, 95 by noon, high temp of 100 degrees. There is some relief in sight. We'll look at that here in a bit.
See you then. Coming up, we take a look at Wyandotte Nation's Summer Youth Intern Camp. Plus, lawmakers passed new gun control legislation. We have a look at what to expect. Wyandotte Nation's holding their Summer Youth Intern Program. It's for tribal youth who are part of Wyandotte Nation. Assignments in the program range from education to fitness to elder services, even gaming. Participants also get to learn more about their heritage.
One of the key things of the program is just so the kids can really learn more about the tribe, learn more about their history, learn more what we do today. We're a sovereign government. We operate a lot of different programs, such as the state of Oklahoma would operate to their citizens. We operate those same programs for our tribal citizens here in the area.
Participants must be ages 16 to 22 and be enrolled in high school or as a full-time college student. Local chapters of the United Way got out today for a day of action. The event's a chance for volunteers to work on beautification projects for nonprofit organizations all throughout the area. The United Way has hosted the Day of Action annually for more than 30 years. Democrats banded together with 14 Republicans in the House and 15 in the Senate to pass new gun control legislation in the wake of recent mass shootings. Deborah Alfarone is on Capitol Hill with more on this historic bill.
is laid upon the table. The motion is adopted.
The House has passed a Senate bill sending the first major new gun control legislation in nearly 30 years to the White House to be signed into law.
Let us not judge this legislation for what is not in it, but respect it for what it does. And what it does is save lives.
The bipartisan legislation will enhance gun background checks for people under 21. It sets aside $750 million to give to states that implement red flag laws designed to temporarily seize guns from people deemed dangerous. And it closes the so-called boyfriend loophole, preventing someone who's been convicted of domestic abuse but lives outside a victim's home from buying a gun. Nearly every Republican in the House opposed the bill, saying it tramples on Americans' rights.
They are coming after Americans, law-abiding American citizens' Second Amendment liberties.
The Senate passed this bill Thursday night after weeks of bipartisan negotiations led by Democrat Chris Murphy and Republican John Cornyn.
I don't believe in doing nothing in the face of what we saw in Uvalde and we've seen in far too many communities.
This bill is a compromise. It doesn't do everything I want. But what we are doing will save thousands of lives.
15 Republicans joined Democrats in passing the bill in the Senate. Majority Leader Mitch McConnell says he is not concerned about pressure from the NRA.
What I'm mainly concerned about is dealing with the issues that have been brought to the fore by these mass shootings.
Many Republicans who voted in favor will not be facing voters in 2024. Deborah Alfarone, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
The breakthrough came a day after the Supreme Court struck down a New York law that limited carrying guns outside the home. A little bit later, the Midwest Mustangs hit the diamond looking for a 2-0 start.
Plus, the heat is definitely on for us on Saturday. Are we going to get some relief? Look at that coming up. Well, of course, super hot day for us today. Our hottest day that we've seen in 2022. 99 was the official high. We had a heat index at one time of 107 degrees. Wonderful. Even hotter. A little bit hotter tomorrow. Nice shot. Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. It's Friday night. It's pretty good. It's warm. It's muggy out there. We're going to continue to see that as we go through the rest of the overnight hours. Look at our highs. Near 100 degrees across the region. We did have a couple triple digits in northeastern Oklahoma. And it's still warm. It's still muggy. We're sitting into the mid 80s. But at least we're not alone. Everybody across Central Plains is experiencing this. Look at this. After 10 o'clock, it's still 91. Southwestern Kansas and Dodge City. Even still have a heat index. It still feels 92, 93 degrees. So a warm, muggy night, quiet night. We're going to stay dry. Here's 7th and Rangeline, 86. Look at that. Heat index 94. After 10 o'clock, dew point of 74. Anytime in the summer when those dew points give above 70 degrees, that's when you get that muggy, sticky conditions across the region. Pretty much clear skies. Had a few isolated thunderstorms near Table Rock earlier this evening. These are gone. Looks good. We are tracking thunderstorms out across central and western parts of Nebraska. This is the beginnings of our next storm system. In fact, we are finally going to get some rain chances in here by the time we head into tomorrow night. Tonight's going to be okay. It's just warm and muggy, about 78 or 80 early in the morning. If you do have to get outside, get out in the morning hours because the afternoon is going to be blazing hot. Mid 90s by noon. I think we'll make it up to about 100 during the afternoon. I think that will be the official high. If you're heading up to Stockton Lake, about 100. Table Rock, about 96, 97. Grand Lake, probably 100 to 102. If you're going down to the Elk River, also near about 100 degrees. Here's your day planner for you. Starting at 78, 94 by noon, high temp of 100. Very slight chance for an isolated thunderstorm late in the day. A little breezy, south winds at 10 to 20. Now, as we go through the overnight hours, scattered thunderstorms start to erupt. These are not going to be widespread, but definitely our best chance for rain that we have seen in the past 2 weeks. The better shot is going to be along and north of the I-44 corridor, and I would say 50% of us get rain. Hopefully you're in that 50%, but it's mainly going to be the northern half of the region. Any showers, any thunderstorms that we do see are going to be out of here by Sunday morning. We're going to have a lot of clouds Sunday morning. I think we'll get some sunshine by the afternoon. But look at the temps. High temps only right around 80 by the time we head into Sunday. So about a 20-degree swing from Saturday into Sunday. Heat indices again tomorrow, 107 to about 110. So if you are going to be outside, drink plenty of fluids. But again, a 20-degree swing. Still 81 on Sunday, but hey, we're a lot better than 100 degrees like we're going to see tomorrow. 80 on Monday, down to 58 Tuesday morning, which is great. And then a slow warming trend next week, back into the 90s for the holiday weekend, which kicks off next weekend.
So the plan is yard work on Sunday. Tomorrow, enjoy the air conditioning if you can.
Yeah, scorcher.
Yeah, good day to be inside. Thanks, Doug. Walmart gave back to the Joplin community today by giving out some grants. Joplin High School's Special Education Department received a combined $2,500 to go toward life skills classes in the school's Peer Buddy program. The funds will also be used to support special education needs at the high school, clothing, hygiene items, and educational projects. 80 students are estimated to be enrolled in special education classes next year, and 180 students will be part of the Peer Buddy program. We're now broadcasting from that temporary transmitter lower on the tower as we prepare to put the new, more powerful transmitter at the very top. Some of you have noticed that our signal's kind of glitchy from time to time, at least for some of you, but when the project is finished, we're going to be broadcasting with even more power than ever, so please bear with us. Still ahead, a pair of Pitt State freshmen shine as the USA Outdoor Track and Field Championships in Eugene, Oregon, and a pair of local baseball teams hit the field for a tournament in Joplin. Jacob Leonard has that and more up next.
Tonight is Game 4 of an 8-game road trip for the Joplin Outlaws. The Outlaws face the Clarinda A's this evening, aiming for their 3rd win in 4 games. And Joplin is an even 9-9 coming into tonight's game. Clarinda runs away with it this evening, final score 10-3. Tyler Davis goes 1 for 3 with an RBI for Joplin. And these two teams will play again tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Today is day 2 of the AABC Connie Mack World Series qualifier tournament in Joplin. The Pittsburgh American Legion team hits the field today, facing the Houston Tigers out of Houston, Missouri. The Post 64 trying for their first win of the tournament after dropping their opener last night. First inning, Cameron Williamson deep to left. This is a triple, 2 score. Williamson drives in 6, goes 3 for 3 on the day. Later, bases loaded for Nate Smith. Drives it all the way to the fence in center. Another triple. All 3 runners would score. Now in the 4th, bases loaded again. Ethan Rhodes through the gap. Patriots pouring it on. At that point, it's 9-0. They put up another big inning in the 5th. Rhodes again finding space in right center. All Post 64 in this one. Pittsburgh wins it 16-0. Another local team in action in Joplin. The Midwest Mustangs aim for a 2-0 start against the Springfield Aces. The Mustangs have 2 on in the 1st. Logan Myers back up the middle. Cade Beshore and Wyatt Foley both score. A 3rd inning. Galena High School product Brett Sarwinski hits it high and deep to right. That's an RBI triple. Then Landon Midget gets it through the left side. Mustangs score 6 in the inning. Makes it 8-0. Now in the 4th, Mario Mangini puts the game away. 2-run single. Mustangs win it 10-0 to advance to the championship bracket tomorrow afternoon. Well, Pittsburgh State Athletics has announced its 2022 Hall of Fame class. 8 individuals will be inducted into the PSU Hall of Fame this fall. And one of those 8 is former Gorilla running back Caleb Farabi. Farabi was a 2-time All-American for Pittsburgh State, playing from 2005 to 2008. In his career, he rushed for more than 3,200 yards, which is the 7th most in PSU history. He also racked up 46 total touchdowns. Now here's Farabi, the former Colgan Panther, on what it means to go into the Hall of Fame for his hometown team.
Everything in the world. I was just so happy to have the opportunity to do it in my hometown, and I did, and I'm happy for my parents and my family. I think I would speak for maybe all the guys on the team with this, that, you know, it's a grind every day, and I'm just proud that I was able to make it through it, and in the end I was able to meet my wife here too.
You can check out our full story and all 8 individuals selected to the PSU Hall of Fame in this story on the sports page at KOAMnewsnow.com. A pair of Pitt State freshmen shined today at the USA Track and Field 20 and Under Outdoor Championships today. On the women's side, Blakely Wynn won the heptathlon with 5,473 total points. On the men's side, TJ Caldwell finished second in the 110-meter hurdles, posting a time of 13.34 seconds.
Kind of mixed right now. I'm getting to represent, but now I get to see what I can work on. Now I can see what I can do better as an athlete.
We've got more details on Wynn's and Caldwell's day on our sports page on our website. Again, that's KOAMnewsnow.com. A pair of Kansas Jayhawks were taken in the first round of the NBA draft on Thursday night. Ochai Agbaji was taken 14th overall by the Cleveland Cavaliers, while Christian Brown went 21st to the Denver Nuggets. Now, in other draft news, Oklahoma City landed Gonzaga star Chet Holmgren with the 2nd overall pick. Holmgren posted 14 points, 10 rebounds, and nearly 4 blocks per game last season for the Zags. Now, the 7-footer was an All-American and first-team All-Conference pick in his one and only college season. And finally, familiar face here, Northwest Missouri State's Trevor Hudgens is getting his shot at the NBA. Hudgens signed a 2-way deal last night with the Houston Rockets. He's one of the best to ever do it in the MIAA. At Northwest Missouri, Hudgens was twice the Division II National Player of the Year and was the MIAA Conference Player of the Year in each of his final 3 seasons with the Bearcats. And that's it for sports. We're back with more news after this.
Take time now to honor a local veteran. Bill Blaylock served in the U.S. Navy from 1940 to 1946. World War II vet. His hometown, Fairland, Oklahoma, and we salute Seaman Bill Blaylock, our 4-state hero. It's going to be hot for one more day.
One more day. We still got some summer left, but at least we get a little bit of relief.
One more day in a row.
Yeah. We've been officially summer for like 4 days. 100 tomorrow, heat index 107 to 110. Some scattered thunderstorms tomorrow night, which will be nice if we can get some rain in here.
Yeah, make us appreciate those 80s when you have 100 for a day. The weather, or the final sports notes.
Yeah,
or you can talk weather. I don't care, whatever you want.
I'm going to do the sports just this time. We told you the Midwest Mustangs are in the championship bracket at the Joplin tournament. They'll play at Joe Becker Stadium at 2 p.m. tomorrow afternoon.
Very good. Thanks for joining us. Try to stay cool tomorrow, and let's make it a great weekend.